nampaknya Donald Trump masih belum move on dengan Malaysia. Terbaharu Presiden Amerika Syarikat AS Donald Trump sekali lagi memuji Malaysia selepas beliau mengumumkan negara angkasa itu akan membenarkan pengeluaran kereta kompak buat pertama kali di Rumah Putih White House pada.
One of the other things we're doing, it's separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car.
Bayangkan satu hari isu besar di Amerika meletup tanpa amaran. Media bercakap tentang masa depan kereta, kos hidup yang makin menekan dan keperluan rakyat biasa yang semakin terhimpit. Tetapi tiba-tiba, nama Malaysia terseret masuk ke dalam perbincangan dunia. Ramai terkejut, ramai tertanya-tanya. Apa kaitan sebuah negara kecil di Asia Tenggara dengan krisis dan perbincangan otomotif Amerika? Kenapa Malaysia disebut walaupun secara tidak langsung? Di sinilah persoalan besar bermula. Dunia sedang mencari jawapan tentang kereta yang mampu dimiliki, jimat, praktikal dan mesra rakyat. Dan tanpa disedari, model pembangunan gaya hidup dan pendekatan Malaysia terhadap kenderaan rakyat mula menjadi bahan perbualan. Ini bukan soal siapa paling hebat. Ini soal siapa yang lebih memahami keperluan manusia biasa. Dalam hiruk pikuk politik dan industri gergasi, nama Malaysia muncul sebagai tanda tanya. Bukan kerana kuasa besar, tetapi kerana kesederhanaan yang lama dipandang remeh. Dan seperti biasa bila dunia mula bertanya, kita di sini baru sedar, sesuatu yang biasa bagi kita, mungkin luar biasa bagi orang lain.
Already 3 years since Anwar Ibrahim became Prime Minister. Is it 3 bad years or 3 good years for Malaysia? Opinions are split, but here is an analysis based on 10 objective facts. First, Anwar is positioned to end almost 40 years of government's deficit. For nearly 4 decades, government spending consistently exceeded revenue. When Anwar took office, the deficit stood at 5.6% of GDP. It was reduced to 5% in 2023, then to 4.1% in 2024, and is on track to reach 3.8% this year, and is projected to decline further to 3.5% in 2026. This trajectory reflects a clear fiscal discipline. Second, Anwar has cut government's annual debt every year. Federal borrowings decreasing from nearly 100 billion in 2022 to 93 billion in 2023, and then to 77 billion this year. We see the government is cutting annual debt every year under Anwar. Third, while deficit and debt are being reduced, Anwar has grown government's revenue by nearly 40 billion. Revenue rose by 20 billion in 2023, another 7 billion in 2024, and is expected to add 12 billion this year. In total, that is roughly 40 billion ringgit in additional revenue under the Madani government. This shows that Anwar has not only reduced deficit and government's debt, but also increased federal revenue over the past 3 years. Fourth, Bank Negara's foreign reserve rose to US dollar 123.8 billion at end October, the highest level in 10 years. This amount increases Malaysia's resilience to external shock, sufficient to finance 4.8 months of imports in case of crisis. We see that Malaysia is now stronger under Anwar. Fifth, the ringgit has emerged as Asia's top performing currency, trading at highest level against US dollar in 13 months. Ringgit has also strengthened significantly against Singapore dollars, reaching its strongest 3-year rate. It is projected that by 2026, ringgit will value below 4 ringgit per US dollar, and after years of decline, finally the ringgit has been gaining ground and showing better performance under Anwar. 6. Malaysia's unemployment rate fell to 3.1% in April this year, the lowest in 10 years, and dropped further to 3% in September. The job market is projected to stay strong next year. While it does not entirely solve job mismatch or underemployment, it shows that more Malaysians are securing stable salary work under Anwar compared to previous administration. 7. Malaysians are earning more. Median household income grew by 5.1% in 2023 2024, while average disposable income rose by 3.2%. The minimum wage has been raised to 1,700 ringgit, injecting an estimated 10 billion ringgit into workers' wallet nationwide. And Penang recorded the highest income growth rate at 6.4%. In other words, Malaysians are now enjoying higher salary and more spending power. 8. Malaysians are now benefiting from lower petrol prices and lower interest rates. The Budi 95 reform has reduced the cost of RON 95 petrol, while the cut in the overnight policy rate OPR to 2.75% has lowered monthly repayments. We see that Malaysians are now enjoying higher salary with lower petrol price, lower housing installment, lower vehicle loan, personal loan and business loan. Under Anwar, households and companies alike have more cash left each month. Inflation in 2022, before Anwar took office, stood at 3.3%. After he became PM, it fell to 2.5% in 2023 and 1.8% in 2024. By October this year, inflation is further to 1.3%, lower than initial forecasts. We also see this reflected in higher consumer spending. Beyond long queues at restaurants, Malaysians even line up overnight to buy the latest iPhone. Retail and wholesale trade expanded by 70 billion ringgit, rising to 1.77 trillion in 2024. Malaysians spent 12 billion ringgit on TikTok Shop in 2024, which make us the 6th highest in the world. Malaysians are also travelling abroad more. Outbound tourism spending reached 28 billion ringgit in 2023 and grew by 15% to 32 billion in 2024. This clearly indicates more Malaysians can afford to travel overseas. 9. Support for low-income household has strengthened. In 2025, Sumbangan Tunai Rama (SDR) and Sumbangan Asas Rama (SARA) amount to 15 billion ringgit, assisting about 9 million lower-income recipients. This expanded assistance has contributed to narrowing Malaysia's income gap to its lowest point in 50 years. This improvement indicates Anwar fairer distribution of income between the rich and the poor. 10. Malaysia's global standing has improved across multiple international benchmarks. We have climbed 11 places in the World Competitiveness Ranking, rose 8 spots in the Global Talent Ranking, advanced to 33rd in the Global Innovation Index, and moved up 2 positions in the Economic Freedom Ranking. The Canadian Fraser Institute has ranked Malaysia as the world's top 10 among 165 countries for sound money, reflecting Anwar's prudent management. S&P Global give Malaysia stable outlook with A- sovereign credit ratings, attributing to Anwar's favorable policy-making environment. Moody's acknowledges Anwar's reform are moving Malaysia in the right direction, supporting effort to reduce fiscal deficit. The Asian Development Bank praises Anwar's economic fundamentals set for the country. Similarly, the International Monetary Fund praises Anwar's economic reforms, and the World Bank acknowledges Anwar's fiscal consolidation strategy. In terms of investment and trade, Malaysia achieved record-breaking figures in 2024. Approved investments reached 378.5 billion, our highest ever. At the same time, total trade surged 2.9 trillion, also the highest on record. It is clear that in the 3 years since Anwar became Prime Minister, Malaysia recorded lower deficits, lower debt levels, higher government revenue, stronger foreign reserve, stronger ringgit, rising employment, higher incomes, greater spending power, and a narrower income gap. And these gains are further supported by positive evaluations from international organizations such as S&P, Moody's, ADB, IMF, and World Bank. Here are the 10 objective facts we can see over the past 3 years. It is evident that Malaysia has moved decisively out of the shadow of past financial scandal such as 1MDB and the long period of chronic mismanagement. In many ways, the nation now looks divided into 2 distinct eras. The pre-Anwar Malaysia, marked by scandal, instability, and weak governance, and the Anwar-led Malaysia characterized by stronger fundamentals, improving indicators, and far more promising outlook. Let us continue building Malaysia together.
One of the other things we're doing is separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute, and I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the Secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars, so you'll be able to buy they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. If you take a look, Honda, some of the Japanese companies do a beautiful job, but we're not allowed to make them in this country, and I think you're going to do very well with those cars, so we're going to approve those cars. Would you like to say something about that?
Well, no, just that he never stops working, so even when he's on Asian time, he's calling me at midnight in the States, but he gave me the directive to clear the regulations on this, which we have, and so if Toyota or any other company wants to make smaller, more affordable cars, fuel efficient, we have cleared the deck so they can make them in America and sell them in America.
They're really nice and less expensive, and it really gives people a chance to have a car, have a brand new car as opposed to a car that maybe isn't so great. And so you car companies start thinking about that. I think it's going to be a tremendous market.
Nampaknya Donald Trump masih belum move on dengan Malaysia. Terbaru Presiden Amerika Syarikat AS Donald Trump sekali lagi memuji Malaysia selepas beliau mengumumkan negara angkasa itu akan membenarkan pengeluaran kereta kompak buat pertama kali di Rumah Putih White House pada Khamis. Ia susulan beliau sendiri melihat populariti model kecil dan ekonomi itu ketika lawatannya ke Jepun, Korea Selatan, Malaysia dan beberapa negara lain baru-baru ini. Pengumuman tersebut mencetuskan reaksi bangga dalam kalangan warganet Malaysia, khususnya apabila Trump menyebut Malaysia sebagai antara rujukan kereta kompak.
One of the other things we're doing is separate from this meeting, but I think everybody here would agree with it. If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car.
Menurut Trump, kereta bersaiz kecil yang dianggapnya comel dan mirip Volkswagen Beetle itu menarik perhatiannya sekaligus mencetuskan idea untuk membuka pasaran baharu di AS.
They're very small, they're really cute, and I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the Secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars, so you'll be able to buy.
Trump turut menyebut beberapa syarikat Jepun seperti Honda yang menghasilkan reka bentuk kereta kompak yang cantik dan sangat menarik sambil yakin kereta kecil itu berpotensi membuka pasaran besar di AS. Sementara itu, Setiausaha Jabatan Pengangkutan AS Sean Duffy mengesahkan bahawa Trump mengarahkan pelonggaran peraturan bagi membolehkan syarikat seperti Toyota atau pengeluar lain menghasilkan kereta kompak mampu milik serta jimat bahan api di AS dan menjualnya di pasaran tempatan. Ramai pengguna media sosial mengandaikan bahawa lawatan Trump ke Malaysia pada November lalu mungkin memperlihatkannya model popular tempatan negara, malah tidak kurang juga menganggap kenyataannya sebagai satu bentuk pengiktirafan tidak langsung terhadap industri automotif Malaysia terkenal dengan kereta kompak berpatutan dan praktikal.
Apabila isu ini dibincangkan lebih jauh, jelas bahawa dunia sedang mengalami peralihan besar. Kos sara hidup meningkat, harga kereta melambung dan rakyat biasa semakin tertekan. Negara-negara besar mula mencari contoh, bukan yang mewah, tetapi yang berfungsi untuk rakyat. Malaysia tanpa sedar telah lama hidup dalam realiti itu. Kereta bukan simbol kemewahan semata-mata, tetapi alat untuk bekerja, menjaga keuluran dan meneruskan hidup. Model kereta kompak, harga yang lebih terkawal, serta ekosistem sokongan yang sederhana. Semua ini mungkin tidak glamour, tetapi berjiwa manusia. Sebab itu, bila nama Malaysia muncul dalam perbincangan global, ia bukan soal meniru atau mengagungkan. Ia soal belajar. Belajar bahawa kemajuan bukan hanya tentang siapa paling laju, paling mahal, atau paling canggih, tetapi siapa paling dekat dengan keperluan rakyat. Di sinilah makna sebenar cerita ini. bukan Amerika, bukan Malaysia, tetapi manusia di tengah-tengahnya. Dan seperti falsafah channel Rasa Sayang, setiap cerita ada maknanya dan setiap makna bermula dari rasa sayang. Sekarang saya ingin tanya anda, adakah dunia patut belajar dari kesederhanaan? Kalau kita sendiri belum cukup menghargai apa yang kita ada, kongsikan pandangan anda di ruangan komen. Cerita anda mungkin membuka makna yang baru untuk semua.
Lihat dari jauh.